Cooking Crave, brought to you by ENG Lending, your area's #1 choice for home loans. 456loan.com.
Okay, coming up on today's show, we have a couple submitted recipes. That's all coming your way next. Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Rhonda Fitterer.
I'm Laverne.
And we have Rose Ward of Mott submitting a pepperoni casserole recipe for us to show for our viewers. And Sharon Runcorn has a triple berry angel food cake roll. It's a lot of words, but we all know it's going to be fabulous.
It will.
Yep. If you want to cook along with us, just grab a piece of paper and a pen and write down these ingredients. For the pepperoni casserole, you're going to need 4 eggs, 4 ounces of cream cheese, a 1/3 cup of whipping cream, a 1/2 teaspoon each of oregano and crushed garlic, 2 cups of mozzarella cheese, a cup of Parmesan cheese, a 1/2 cup of pizza sauce, and 16 ounces of pepperoni. So, sounds great.
Yeah.
For the cake roll, you're going to need an angel food cake, a 1/4 cup and plus 3/4 cup of powdered sugar, 8 ounces of cream cheese, 1.5 cups, of whipping cream, 1 teaspoon vanilla, 1.5 cups each of strawberries, blueberries, and raspberries.
Anytime you have angel food cake with fruit like that, it's going to be good.
It's fabulous.
It is.
All right, where are we going to get started?
Okay, well, we want to get our pizza casserole in the oven.
Okay.
And stuff. So we beat 4 ounces of cream cheese.
Okay.
So I have that here. And I took that out so it has time to be room temperature.
Okay.
And stuff. So we want that. And then a 1/3 cup of whipping cream. You know, different ingredients than you would think of a pizza casserole.
Sure.
It is. I thought it was interesting too. So, but it's going to be good. So I'll put that in there. And it is always so nice to be able to get different recipes than what you're usually used to doing, you know, and stuff. So, okay, we'll still get that whipped up. And then I did crack 4 eggs in here ready to go. So we want to blend that all up well. I'm going to put my eggs in. And get that blended. And then, you know, there's not a lot of other seasonings in there. We have the oregano and a little bit of minced garlic in there.
Okay.
And stuff, and that's pretty much. But
we're putting in some pizza sauce, which has a lot of ingredients there.
It does.
I'm assuming that I need to spray this pan.
Right. We start with a 9x13 pan. I do have my oven on at 350 degrees, and that because this. Bakes maybe about 30 minutes, anyway, until it's bubbly.
Okay.
And that nice and hot. And then there's one step after that, and it's done in real short order. So
all right, sounds great.
We're going to have that. I want to just kind of scrape this down a little bit. You know, that cream cheese, even though I had it, at room temperature, it still takes a little bit just to beat that until it's, not so lumpy anymore.
Sure.
So while that's going, and it says a 1/2 teaspoon of oregano.
Okay.
There we go. And then a 1/2 teaspoon of the crushed garlic. Where that's going to be. So we're going to let that mix up, and then we're actually going to put a cup of mozzarella cheese on the bottom.
Oh, okay.
And I have 2 cups here, so I'm going to just, there. There. I shredded, 8-ounce package of mozzarella instead of, having it shredded. just shredded my own.
Sure.
And 8 ounces is basically, you know, like 2 cups or whatever. But I think you actually end up with more shredded cheese from that 8-ounce block than when you do with the bag shredded cheese. I don't, it seemed like more. I didn't measure. I thought, well, I'm not going to put that back. So now we're going to just layer it with the Parmesan cheese here.
Okay. And is this divided too, that we're going to put some on top as well?
This one does not say that you have to have any on top. Although I know I had a package and there was just a little bit more in there than a cup. So I might just reserve a little bit and put that on top just because, you know.
You got it.
We have it, that's
Sure.
correct. Because now this, once we get this bit, we just pour that over the cheese. We bake that before we put the pepperoni on.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of a different, the pepperoni or the pepperoni sauce there, so. So I'll just. And it's always kind of fun to see what other, our viewers have some of their recipes and what they like to make.
Well, and a lot of times they become something like, yeah, I'm going to make this again.
Your favorites, absolutely. Okay, so that doesn't look like an awful lot right now, but that's all we're going to do. And now we're going to pop it in the oven approximately 30 minutes or until it's bubbly.
Okay.
So what I'm actually going to do is set the timer for 25 minutes and we'll check it and see where it's at if we need to add a little bit more time to that. And so I'm going to just set this stuff aside because we're going to be using that when that's done. We're going to finish putting the pepperoni and the pizza sauce on like that.
Okay.
So now we're going to start with the triple berry angel food
Okay.
cake. So
Finding the right mortgage company can be a little puzzling. At ENG Lending, we make it easy by finding the right program that fits perfectly. From VA loans for our veterans to first-time home buyers, refinancing and debt consolidation. Piece by piece, we pay close attention to every detail so that every piece of the puzzle falls right into place. ENG Lending. It all comes together.
Call 456 Loan right now.
okay, now got my mixing bowl ready. We're going to beat 8 ounces of cream cheese.
Okay.
I did take that out and had that softened at room temperature. So I want to get that beat up a little bit there until smooth. Then we're going to add 3/4 cup powdered sugar and 1.5 cups whipping cream.
Okay.
And a little bit of vanilla. Then we want to beat that until it gets to be some nice fluffy peaks with
Okay.
there. Because this is going to be the filling inside the angel food cake.
Okay.
Or whatever.
Perfect.
So. Okay, so I'm going to just bring that down here so we can add. Okay, so we'll add the powdered sugar here. And a teaspoon of vanilla.
Okay.
And then 1.5 cups of whipping cream. You know, and I think I've talked about this too with our viewers. Using powdered sugar and whipping cream, it will keep a better consistency than your regular granulated sugar, because that will, you know, separate if you have any left over, you know.
Right.
So I put this on. I'll make sure it just goes on pretty slow, or otherwise that can really splash. And like we talked, we're going to need to
whip that till it gets nice, light and fluffy.
Okay.
So we're gonna let that whip up, and then we'll be back with our viewers and
Sounds good.
show the finished product.
Perfect.
Okay. We have beaten our cream cheese and whipped cream together, and it's just light and fluffy here.
Okay.
So we'll clean that there. Okay. Got that whipped up quite nicely. Now this is going to be the interesting part. I'll have you give me that.
Okay.
You know, the recipe calls that you go ahead and make an angel food cake. Any mix that you want.
Okay.
You know, just bake an angel food cake. But I should not have put the pan over here. You're going to use a jelly roll pan.
Okay.
This size, and you're going to line it with parchment paper.
Okay.
And when you have your angel food cake mixed as directed, you're going to just pour it in here and on the parchment paper, and you're going to bake it for like 20 minutes.
Okay.
So that when you do, then you take it out of the oven and maybe let it cool for about 5 minutes, and then just kind of pull the parchment paper away from the sides, and then you're going to take just take a kitchen towel and a cleaned kitchen towel, and what you want to do is you're going to want to take the towel and take a 1/4 cup powdered sugar and just sprinkle it on the towel so the cake does not stick to the towel.
Okay.
There. So it's a little bit of a process, but yet it works very well. So when you do that, and then when you start rolling up that cake, you're going to continuously roll the towel inside, because if you don't, then the the cake is going to kind of stick together.
Right.
Because when you unroll that, you need that towel in between so that you have that. So now we're going to just pull that down and just roll this back here. Okay. So that it's pretty much just like you're doing a jelly roll, and that here it cracked a little bit, but that's going to be fine.
Okay.
So what we're going to do now is we're going to take half of this filling and we're going to put it in on the angel food cake, and then we're going to put some of our fruit on top. Then the rest of it, when we roll it back up, we're going to use the rest like a frosting and frost the outside and add more fruit on top of that.
Perfect.
It's going to look great. So let's just go ahead and get that in here. Okay. That looks like about the amount, half of that. So just going to gently spread that out. And when I open this up here, I'm going to, just so I can get it in there a little bit.
Sure. Yeah, so something a little bit different than, just a normal angel food cake, and presentation is very pretty.
It's going to be. And when a person talks about thinking, and you're looking at the instructions and thinking, oh, put it in a jelly roll pan, and the parchment cake, because you do not ever grease a pan for angel food cake. So that's where the parchment paper come in, and it just come out just so nice and clean. It was just great.
Sure.
So what we're going to do then is let's just go ahead and get some fruit in here. And I'll open that piece up there a little bit, because that's where I'm going to start rolling it up on that end again. And what we have here, you can really make yourself a very patriotic cake here. Roll up, with the colors that we have.
Yeah, you certainly can use it for 4th of July holiday.
So, okay. I know it's at 1.5 cups of blueberries. I know that I had more in there than that. And being the raspberries are a little bit bigger, I'm just going to kind of dot that in here versus,
Yes,
You can't
unless you
spread.
had cut them up.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. All right,
great.
so I'm going to just kind of come over on this side
Sure.
and just go ahead and roll that up and just kind of hold your cake, you know, together a little bit. And we're going to put it on
Ooh.
that platter there. So that makes, you know, a pretty good sized, you know, dessert.
Oh,
you know, there.
absolutely.
And put your seam down so it's laying, you know, setting down here. Then it won't open for you. Okay, let me wipe that off there. And now we're just going to take the rest of that filling and spread it on there. And I'll give you a
All right.
there. Because we'll just bring it down to the sides there. Yeah, if I put it all on the top, then a person can easily bring it down on the side. Now, I would certainly, you know, after serving this, and you have any, if you have any left over, I would certainly refrigerate it just because of the cream cheese and whipped cream.
Yes.
Yeah. And something like this probably too is great if you can get that, well, eat it in a couple of days. I think we could manage that.
Oh, yes.
Very much so. So, whoop.
And if you do refrigerate it, that will help set the frosting up just a little bit too.
Right, yeah. And the cream cheese should, you know, hold that nicely there. Okay. You know, it gives it a little bit more consistency there.
Yes. Perfect.
Well, and I will certainly admit to my viewers, this is my first time with this one too. So I was just crossing my fingers that it was all going to turn out. So then, you know, we're just going to go ahead and, yeah, put some fruit on top of that. Use up those raspberries. And if you do make this in the summertime, it's just great because you can get that fresh fruit.
Yes.
Where, you know, it's not always so easy to find that in the wintertime. And with that filling on there, that helps your fruit stick all in there.
I don't know if you're supposed to put it on the side or not, so I'm just
Wherever
going
it's
willy-nilly,
going
Mom.
to stay. I do think the more we can have on there, the better it's going to be. And if you
All
really
right.
wanted to take the time and design a flag or something on this with your colors,
That'd be great.
that would be something nice, awesome to do.
Sure.
All right, so we already got that assembled here.
And we just got a couple minutes for the bake to come out, and
Yep.
we'll finish the pizza
And that
casserole.
we'll
and
just, and then when we take that out of the oven, we're going to add the pizza sauce and the pepperoni and the rest of the cheese, and we put it under the broiler, and just to get that melted and hot. You know, it's not going to take very long, so we're going to be prepared for that. So
sounds good.
let me just, I'm going to check it to see if it's hot and bubbly there, which okay. Oh, well, you know, it has already baked up here, and I want to just check the bottom you know, I think that looks really good. I don't even need to go any longer with that. And I'm going to go ahead and put the oven on broil, but I'm going to put it on low because I don't want it to get too high so that the cheese burns before, you know, gets melted and stuff. So, okay. So with that there, you know, you're just going to top that with the pizza sauce and then the pepperoni. And I will need to get myself a spoon out of here. That cutting board is pretty handy, but sometimes
It's just over your silverware.
yeah. So it says a half a cup of pizza sauce. So anything that you would like to.
Well, and there's different flavors
Yeah.
too, so you can mix it up and make this a couple times and have it taste different.
Absolutely. All right. And with the pepperoni, what I did buy deli pepperoni, and you know, they're bigger slices. If you're going to lay it on there and slice it, I mean to layer it, it's going to be a little bit harder to cut it. So I just kind of chopped up that pepperoni and stuff. So I'm going to go ahead, and it says to put the pizza sauce on. And that is a half a cup. And certainly can always use more if you'd like.
That looks about the right amount though.
And we can see that the eggs, you know, the 4 eggs in there, it just baked up there on there. So okay, now we want the pepperoni, and so we're going to just,
And that's a lot of pepperoni that we have in here.
you know, it is. I probably may not have taken, but it asks for 16 ounces, which is a pound. So it is quite a bit. And if you find that that's more than you like, I mean, you don't need to use that all.
But pepper, I mean, it's a good source of protein, so I think we should make it how Rose submitted it.
That's, yeah.
Because once you put the cheeses on top too, that'll be excellent.
Yes. Okay. So let's just make sure we have it kind of evenly spread out.
All right.
So I'm just going to add that little bit of a Parmesan cheese that I had left over from the bottom. Okay, there we go. And then just going to layer the rest of this mozzarella cheese over there, sprinkle it on top.
Perfect.
Yeah. All right, there. Now, got to remember that
The pan is hot.
it is. So we'll just stick that in. And like I said, I do have the broiler on low. And so we're going to put that in there, and I'm just going to watch it real closely. And as soon as that is melted and bubbly, we'll take it out and show the viewers.
Sounds great.
Country Rose Cafe on East Villard is open for breakfast and lunch 7 days a week. Enjoy daily homemade specials, caramel and cinnamon rolls, several different kinds of homemade pies made fresh every day. Country Rose Cafe is also famous for homemade soup, including their ever-popular Nefla served every Tuesday. While you're in, make sure to pick up your Channel 18 Cooking Crave recipes and like us on Facebook for different specials and announcements. Country Rose Cafe, the way a cafe should be, located at 837 East Villard in Dickinson.
Okay, our cheese is all melted on top of here. Oh, that looks just great. So we'll just come on over here. That smells good too.
Yep.
Got a piece there. Okay. And usually it's a little better if you do take that 5-10 minutes just to let it cool. Sometimes it's a little bit easier for it to come out.
Yep, set up a little bit.
Yeah, just set it. But this is still doing pretty great.
Yeah, I'll let you hold that.
Yeah. I want this on the floor. No.
Right? It could happen. It could happen. Well, we have to thank Sharon Runcorn and Rose Ward for submitting these recipes. They both look fabulous. They smell fabulous. So, therefore, I'm sure they will be fabulous.
And that is all fabulous, isn't it?
To get these recipes, just go to Consolidated's website, www.consolidatednd.com. Submit your recipes for us to cook for our viewers on the show, and your name will go into the drawing for a Cooking Crave apron. They're always great to have. Thank you so much for joining us, and join us again next week when we do it all over again.